That mic picks up. Hey there, how you doing? Good to see you, sir.
Come seeker, come traveler, come all humankind, online or in person, whomever you love.
Come and be welcome at the Unitarian Universalist Church of Cheyenne, where we're building a community of refuge where all have equal worth and are invited into spiritual exploration as a foundation for hope, compassionate service, and action.
This is a place where questions are encouraged, a place with room for all of who you are.
This is a place full of works in progress, a place for being human together.
Welcome. It is good to be here.
Settle in and exhale. This is a time for community.
Today we are joined by Linda Meeker, who comes to us from the Unitarian Universalist Fellowship of Laramie. Linda, a retired psychologist, attended the United Church of Christ in St. Louis as a child, then remained unchurched until joining UUFL in 1996. Since then, she has participated in a variety of ways, including serving on the board, on the Committee for Ministry, on ministerial search committees, and offering both formal and informal Sunday services. Linda describes her affiliation with the UUFL as the most enduring and most complicated relationship she's ever had.
Good morning. I'm Carol Jean. I'm an at-large member at the board, on the board, and I'm here to welcome you to this church where we are on a shared journey to find meaning, connection, and community together. If you're new here, we ask that you fill out a welcome card in the back of the pew and drop it in our offering basket so we may share information with you and find what nourishes your spirit here. Yes, and there are also note cards in your pews for written joys and sorrows for our pastoral prayer. We pass a square basket during the offering to gather these. Write your name, or you can remain anonymous and write do not share on the card if there's something that you wish to be held in care by our caring committee and not spoken out loud. You may also email our caring committee at caring@uucheyenne.org with any concerns or requests that you might have, and we'd be happy to support you. Many activities and events happen each week in this community, and here are a few that are coming up. Today, during coffee hour, not after coffee hour, but during coffee hour, Linda Meeker is going to host a discussion about what it's like to be without a minister at the Unitarian Universalist Fellowship of Laramie, and discussion. It should be interesting and informative. Saturday, August 15th at 7 p.m., we are hosting the Kamea dinner party. And I think that is all our announcements. Also, In your announcements, in your order of service, you'll see like the second long paragraph that talks about our new procedure with locking up the building after the service. So starting this month, we're going to do a walkthrough and make sure everyone who is not part of a scheduled meeting has safely exited the building before we secure the building. So yes, so just heads up for that, and we appreciate your cooperation with that. Also, a note from our treasurer. Our financial situation is tenuous, as you all know. While we expected to need to pull from our reserves this year, the situation is worse than we thought. Our current total pledges submitted is only 68% of what we planned. We have an additional $22,000 shortfall from our goal when we set the budget. To give you perspective, our budget assumed that, on average, each member household would have an annual pledge of $930. For pledge income to close the gap between our projected or a little over $103 a month. We know that these are tough times, and we understand that each household cannot give equally. If you have not made a pledge, we urge you to thoughtfully consider what you can give. For those of you who have already pledged, we are grateful for your support, and we would ask if there is more you can share. Your generosity keeps our lights on, pays our staff, and keeps our services strong. We are humbled and enfolded by the acts of kindness and generosity of all types we see in our community. Please know that you are welcome and loved regardless of what you have to share. If you are interested in helping us reach our beloved community to grow our pledge support, please talk to a board member about joining our Living Generously committee. And could all board members raise their hands? We'd be happy to chat with you today or any day about helping out with our next pledge campaign. Thank you. And we gather in person and on Zoom each week, giving from our resources to sustain the work of this church and broaden our abundance and share our abundance with community organizations, broadening the reach of our values. You can find our text to give number in your order of service, or you can use the Realm app for electronic giving, or you can drop your Share the Plate offerings and pledges in the baskets as they pass in a few moments. Our Share the Plate partner for the month of August is Better Wyoming, and let's welcome Jim, our Share the Plate liaison, to say a few words about Better Wyoming. Thank you, Jim.
Hello, I'm Jim Van Dyke, and I'm going to speak about Better Wyoming. Better Wyoming helps engage people, neighbors, in the civic processes, and so they help folks understand how the people who politicians and how they can influence the functions in their community. So that's what Better Wyoming is for. So your August part of your contributions will go to them. Thank you.
And now we'll pass around the baskets for offerings for Share the Plate and for UUCC, as well as the smaller rectangular baskets for any joys or sorrows or things that you would like to share with us that we can include in the pastoral prayer, which will happen after the offering. Also, that will be passed along to our pastoral care team. If it's something that you want to be not spoken, but passed on to the team. You can write that on the card. So there's little white note cards in the pew backs for writing joys and concerns. Also, if you'd be interested in getting our newsletter, there are the blue and white slips in the back, and you can throw those in as well. And we can get you on the newsletter to find out about all the wonderful stuff that's happening here at UUCC. This offering of generosity is greatly received for the work of the community within and beyond our walls.
Today, God is running late, trying to find their seat, scanning the room for someone they know or someone they don't. God's feeling evangelical, but not in a judgy way. Mysterious, but not manipulative. God can't stop thinking about the James Webb Telescope and the possibility that time is not linear, which God might have guessed. From the never-ending urgency of some upcoming election and the likelihood that sometime next week Halloween candy will show up in the grocery store. God is tired. Tired of grief and white supremacy and the warming of the oceans, not to mention that they usually come into the later service. And it's hot. Why hasn't the air conditioning been installed yet? God wonders. And of course, we're all like, no kidding, God, can't you do something about that? But God's hearing aid batteries ran out and they haven't had time to order more. Or that's what they say when asked and can hear the question. But really, that last emergency room visit maxed their credit cards, and their partner's been working DoorDash for some extra cash. But it's just not enough, and really, God just wants to be present, stop worrying about everything, sing, breathe, laugh. We got you, God, we say. We'll settle in, and we'll be present, and we'll sing. We'll tell stories and breathe deep. We'll remember ourselves and offer whole galaxies of gratitude for all this beauty, for still blooming salvia and full apple trees, zucchini bread and the U.S. women's soccer team, for protest letters and entire villages of people saying, "You are safe here, God. Your creation is not yet done, creating you." Come, let us worship together. Now, I understand we've had a last-minute substitution for a pianist, but we do have accompaniment, so thank you very much. Would you please join me in singing our opening hymn? It is number 145 in the Gray Hymnal, "As Tranquil Streams." If you would stand as you're willing and able. Oh, cool. All right.
A couple notes, but you'll get the rest.
As tranquil streams that meet and merge and flow as one to seek the sea, our kindred hearts and minds unite to build a church that will be free. Every from the strands that bind the mind to narrow thought and endless creed, free from the social code that fails to serve the cause of human need. A freedom that reveres the past, but trusts the dawning future more, and bids the soul in search of truth and venture boldly and explore. Prophetic church, the future waits your liberating ministry. Go forward in the power of love, proclaim the truth that makes us free.
The words for our chalice lighting today are called "A Reminder of What We Share" by Pat Uribe Lichty. The chalice is a symbol of our faith. Like our faith, it is not magic, nor is it mysterious. We light it as a reminder of what we share as a community and of who each of us is called to be when we feel lost in a chaotic world. May the light of our chalice show us the path. When we are afraid of the times we live in, may the light of our chalice give us courage. When we despair at the injustice and cruelty around us, may the light of our chalice recall us to a faithful hope. Our chalice is a symbol of our commitment to each other and to ourselves. We light it today as a gathered community, that we may understand more completely and act more boldly and hope more fiercely. Now I would like for you to invite you to join me in the spirit of meditation and prayer. Spirit of life and love, we gather to be with one another, to comfort in hard times, to celebrate together in our joyful moments, to dwell together in the wonder and the mystery of this magnificent and ever-changing life. Today, please join me in celebrating the joy for Audrey Bunton that she will be in Estes Park for a week-long meditation retreat starting this evening. May we acknowledge the beauty of this season. It would be nice to have a little more rain, but the sunshine has been great as well. We know that in a couple of months, things will change. May we give thanks for this ever-changing earth and hold room in our hearts for joys that have not been shared and sorrows that are too tender to speak aloud as we take a moment of silence to honor those joys and sorrows of our congregation as well as the joys and sorrows of the world. May we find in this space peace, comfort, and community that enfolds us. Amen, and blessed be. I invite you now to join me in recommitting ourselves to our covenant, which may be found on the inside cover of your order of worship. We begin. Love is the spirit of this church, and service its cause. This is our covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek truth, and to help others. Our sacred message today is entitled, I Want to Be with People, by Reverend Dana Worsnop. Often people say that they love coming to a place with so many like-minded people. I know just what they are getting at, and I know that they aren't getting it quite right. I don't want to be with a bunch of people who think just like me. I want to be in a beloved community where I don't have to think like everyone else to be loved, to be eligible for salvation. I want to be with people who value compassion, justice, love, and truth, and opinions about all sorts of things. I want to be with independent-minded people of good heart. I want to be with people who have many names and no name at all for God. I want to be with people who see me in my goodness and dignity, who also see my failings and foibles, and who still love me. I want to be with people who feel their interconnection with all existence and let it guide their footfalls upon the earth. I want to be with people who see life as a paradox and don't always rush to resolve it. I want to be with people who are willing to walk the tightrope that is life, who will hold my hand as I walk mine. I want to be with people who let church call them into a different way of being with the world. I want to be with people who support, encourage, and even challenge each other to higher and more ethical living. I want to be with people who inspire one another to follow the call of the Spirit. I want to be with people who covenant to be honest, engaged, and kind, who strive to keep their promises and hold me to the promises I make. I want to be with people who give of themselves, who share their hearts and minds and gifts. I want to be with people who know that human community is often warm and generous, sometimes challenging, and almost always a grand adventure. In short, I want to be with people like you.
Me too. Would you please join me for the responsive reading that is printed in your order of service? In gatherings. In gatherings, we are stirred like the leaves of the fall season rustling around sacred trees, tossed hither and yon until we come to rest together, quietly, softly. When our hearts sing, or when they frown, it is the way of compassion telling us to give. It is the way of peace telling us to share our gifts. Spirit of the circle that is love, as we twirl in this dance that is life, we give thanks for reminding us each day of our task of ministering to each other.
Thank you for reminding us that we are always building our beloved community. Thank you for reminding us that through our covenant with you, we covenant with each other and are made whole.
In gratitude, we celebrate with open hearts and minds. We discover who we are, separate from each other and within one another. Do we have meditative music today? Okay, without a pianist, I think we're just going to head into sermon. I hope y'all are okay with that. And I'm going to start my stopwatch. Okay. The phrase leap of faith comes from an idea proposed in the 1800s by a philosopher named Kierkegaard. It basically meant choosing to believe in God or some absolute truth, even when logic, reason, or science cannot prove it. It was not conceived of as a passive or intellectual state, but it is an active, passionate, and individual choice made about one's personal existence. As an admirer of Martin Luther King Jr., I appreciate his adaptation of that sentiment. Quote, "Faith is taking the first step even when you don't see the whole staircase." I congratulate this congregation for taking that first step, that leap of faith into a time without a minister. Of course, much of the time, the leap we take is not necessarily of our own choosing. If you've watched the Indiana Jones movies, as I have dozens of times, you might remember the scene in The Last Crusade, where Indiana must pass 3 deadly challenges in the temple to find the Holy Grail and save the life of his mortally wounded father, Sean Connery. Indy finds himself in a mountain tunnel path which stops at a clear cliff, dropping into a deep canyon. The tunnel continues on the other side, some 30 feet away. He recognizes this as the third challenge to follow the path of God. The clue he has to survive this challenge is only in the leap from the lion's head will he prove his worth. And in despair, he mutters, "It's impossible. Nobody can jump this." It's a leap of faith. He puts his hand on his heart, closes his eyes, breathes. Then, arms out, he steps into the abyss. There is no logic or science or reason to support the belief that he will survive this. But he does it anyway. And he finds that there is a hidden path made invisible by some kind of trompe-l'oeil optical illusion. He leaps. It works. He saves his father and defeats the Nazis. But this isn't a movie set, and we're not here to find a grail which brings eternal life. So when we leap, what faith are we counting on to get us to the other side of the abyss? Our Unitarian Universalist faith is not in its doctrine or in its dictates, but in each other. We trust the people in our church to respect us, encourage us, and be honest with us. We trust them to do their best, to work hard, and to help sustain the energy that built this church. Our faith is in the wisdom, hard work, and good intentions of our people. The people are the essence, the soul of this church, of the UU religion, and also of this church right here, the Unitarian Universalist Church of Cheyenne. Your people are your church. Would this church be diminished if someone broke in and stole all the pews? Would it somehow be less church if you were forced to meet on Tuesdays instead of Sundays? If the building was swept away by a great flood? What if the minister was abducted by aliens? Well, then you'd be on the cover of the National Enquirer, but you would still be the UUCC. If the minister was abducted by aliens, what if there was no minister? Let's stay with that for a minute. The realities of UUCC and no minister have only recently intersected in the cosmic Venn diagram of the universe. As then co-chair of the board of my church, I attended your wonderful installation of Reverend Elizabeth only a few years ago. Before that, I've at least briefly met Reverend Hannah. And I think it was during Reverend Audette's time that a group of us from the UUFL borrowed your pulpit to test drive a prospective minister while weighing our options during a search. In the story of her ministry posted online, Audette said that moving out west to serve in Wyoming was one of the biggest leaps of faith we've ever taken. In the 2000s, the UUFL shared your sadness from afar when Reverend Suzanne fell ill and then died less than 2 years into her ministry with you. And of course, the co-ministry of Bob and Makana was the stuff of local legend. The impression they left on our Western religious landscape was so much larger than the number of years that they served your church. My point is, as long as I've lived in Wyoming, this place has been a church with a full-time called minister. I can only begin to imagine how odd it might feel to you as circumstances have changed and you begin to see yourselves differently. Maybe disconcerting, even alarming. This is a big deal. It's a huge change, but fear not. Although much will change, you will find that nothing is lost. Just as those other unforeseen circumstances like the flood or the stolen pews could not rob you of your churchiness, or change who you are. Neither will the absence of a minister diminish you. What creates this church is you. And just as a hole in the roof will let in rain and sunshine, having no minister will present a few challenges, but many, many opportunities for your people to shine. The work of ministry is not solely the domain of ministers. We don't need to be ordained to love or challenge or encourage each other. I'd like to share with you some words by Reverend Gordon McKeeman. Reverend McKeeman had a long and storied career. He served at All Souls Church in the 1940s and was president of Star King School in the 1980s. He placed tremendous value on lay ministry and strived to help churches develop strong lay leadership. He said that ministry is all that we do together. Ministry is that quality of being in community that affirms human dignity. It beckons forth hidden possibilities, invites us into deeper, more constant, reverent relationships, and carries forward our heritage of hope and liberation. Ministry is what we do together as we celebrate triumphs of our human spirit, miracles of birth and life, wonders of devotion and sacrifice. Ministry is what we do together with one another in times of grief and pain, enabling us in the presence of death to say yes to life. We who minister speak and live the best we know how, with full knowledge that it is never quite enough. And yet we are reassured by lostness found and joy shared. Ministry is what we all do together. Ministry is in the doing. And we know we're doing it when we are centering ourselves in love and actively living by our 7 principles. Silently reciting those principles is a spiritual practice. When you can remember another person's inherent worth and dignity, then you can listen to them with an open heart. When we can find compassion for someone who is difficult, it moves us to respond with caring rather than with resentment. When we strive for equity in our relationships, we're not likely to speak to one another in a dismissive or disrespectful fashion. The vision of a world community with peace, liberty, and justice for all leads us to treat marginalized or demoralized people as worthy of our love and our time. We must notice when our behavior is out of sync with the principles and make the effort to reconnect with our values and expend the energy to act differently. Living out the principles is the most powerful thing we can do. What am I doing? Okay. And ministry is in the doing. To carry your church's ministry forward without a minister will mean breathing new life into your practices. Oftentimes, the structures we've developed for our church become outdated or outgrown over many years. We might even forget that the structures are meant to serve us and not the other way around. When our leadership becomes very centralized or decisions are made in a top-down fashion, we are at a real risk of stagnation. Think for a moment about how your church responded in spring of 2020 to COVID-19 when it suddenly became this bizarre new reality. Did you rethink how you operated? Did you experiment with online tools and different ways to use physical spaces? Did the uncertainty of those times leave you frozen and stuck? Or did it embolden you to explore new possibilities? With the unbidden challenge of COVID, you also found the opportunity to reimagine and to continue with your ministry in different ways. Ministry is in the doing, and the leap of faith is not just an abstract idea, it is a lived reality. It is stepping forward when everything in you says to hold back. To leap is to prioritize your vitality and growth over predictability. How could you take the UU principles out of the realm of thought and then leap into action? When you're living your life every day, it's all a leap of faith every day to bring our best selves into the world and invite others to leap with us. Turn that off. Now, if you would join me with our sung response, it is hymn number 347 in the gray hymnal, Gather the Spirit.
Gather the Spirit, harvest the power. Our separate fires will kindle one flame. Witness the mystery of this hour. Our trails in this light appear all the same. Gather in peace, gather in thanks, gather in sympathy now and then. Gather in hope, compassion and strength, gather to celebrate once again. Gather the Spirit of heart and mind, seeds for the sowing are laid in store. We're nurtured in love and conscience refined, with body and spirit united once more. Gather in peace, gather in thanks, gather in sympathy now and then. Gather in hope, compassion and strength, gather to celebrate once again. Gather the Spirit growing in all, drawn by the moon and fed by the sun. Winter to spring and summer to fall, the chorus of life resounding as one. Gather in peace, gather in thanks, gather in sympathy now and then. Gather in hope, compassion and strength, gather to celebrate once again.
Please remain standing as we extinguish our chalice flame and speak together the words in our order of service. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry within our hearts until we are together again.
That's a torch. Let peace begin with me. Let lament begin with me. Let a refusal to rush to blame begin with me. Let the practice of non-reactivity begin with me. Let new ways of being, of engaging, of listening, of questioning, of reacting, of feeling, of persisting, begin with all of us. Let us reach out and ask one another what we need in our lives, if we need help, how we can help. Let us assume that not everyone we know is well, but that everyone we know is struggling deeply with something. Be kind, for everyone you meet is fighting a hard battle. Whoever said that, whenever it was said, it echoes through the ages with truth. Perhaps this truth is one place we can start when we wake up tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow to a new day. Thank you. I would like to join you for coffee hour in the social hall, and hopefully we can begin a conversation when people have had a little bit of time to visit and enjoy the snacks.
You good? All right. Yeah, that was great. Thank you.
Okay, I'm stealing my pen back. It's from the Wyoming School District, or Department of Education, I don't know.
Okay.